Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the infamous fog light mod on a 2000 to 2005 Ford Focus. The one I say the infamous is because a lot of people that own these cars actually do this very same modification. And what it does is that it allows your fog lights to be on with just the parking lights on, not your main headlights, and as well as on when your high beams are just on. With your parking lights on, there's a position on the switch to pull it back for the fog lights to turn on, but they don't turn on. And again, with your high beams on, everything will shut off, your low beams as well as your fog lights, and it's just your high beam headlights. So, all that you have to do for this is to bypass this little relay, and you need some pretty minimal tools to do it. Those tools include a set of these quick disconnect plugs. What you're really trying to get is these spade ones right here. This one came in a whole bunch of different assortment, so this will last me a pretty long time. That's why I got the kit. You're going to need some wire crimpers, or strippers and crimpers, obviously, because you're doing some auto electrical work. So this is a multi-purpose tool. And this is where you may vary. I don't have any real thick gauge wire to work with, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut. You're going to need about 2 inches of wire, and I'm just going to cut my speaker wire here, and I'm just going to use these 2 wires instead of one big one. That way I get more current that's able to go past through it. This is just left over from my speaker install. I thought I had power cable laying around, but I don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. People easily just use 2 thinner wires and they get around with it pretty easily. You're just going to need 2 inches of it, because any more than that, it'll get it'll lay weird in the fuse box, and any less than that it won't be able to bend right. But this is thinner, so I should be able to get away with it. Go ahead and locate your fuse box inside the engine bay. In a 2000 to 2005 Ford Focus, it is just above the air filter here. The engine is over here, the battery is right here. So if you just follow your windshield wipers straight down, the fuse box is right here. What you're looking for inside this cover is relay number 13. That is the one that you have to be pulling out and bypassing. Judging by this map, relay 13 is right there, and it just so happens to be this white one right here. Now, fair warning, this relay may or may not be pretty hard to get out depending on how well yours is put in there from the factory. Mine thankfully came up pretty easy. And do not throw this little guy away, because this mod is reversible. All you got to do is take the wires out and plop this guy back in there. So if this should not make you fail inspection, at least I'm assuming, but don't quote me on that. So I'm just going to keep this in my glove box, just in case. So you can go ahead and set that aside. So inside where the relay 13 just was, in the middle here, the middle socket, we are going to totally forget about these 3 parallel sockets right here, and we only need to worry about these 2 parallel ones down here. That's what we're going to be putting our connectors into. Okay, here are my 2-inch pieces of wire that I just cut. So now what you're going to want to do is take off about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of wire down here at each end. It depends on what kind of connectors you have and what size they are, but I think for these all I'm going to have to do is take about 1/2 inch of wire out. So after a tiny bit of hassle, I finally got the stripping off of these, and now all I got to do is twist these ends together and then put them in a crimp. I'm going to go ahead and test to make sure that these will fit, which they will. Here is the finished product. As you can see, I fit both my wires in there nicely. Now all that you have to do is go ahead and press your terminals in there. Make sure they go in there good. And that's it. You successfully created a little adapter that bypasses this relay and lets you turn on your fogs whenever you want.